So 4 reasons of why you might not be able to do the back lever yet and the mistakes you're making and how to fix them. So it comes down to the 4 main areas. First one being scapular retraction, meaning the scapula going this way instead of protracting in the back lever. Second one is probably due to a weak core or posterior side of your body. Third could be not engaging your lats. And fourthly, skipping the development of longer holds, further regressed versions of the back lever. So we're going to show you what each of these mistakes look like and how to fix them. So an example of our first mistake and reason why you might not be able to do the back lever well is because you are retracting your scapula. So this tends to make the body become a little disengaged and out of line, and you can't find where that horizontal position is because the scapula are squeezing and pushing in the wrong direction. So to further identify and correct the scapular retraction, which we want to be going the other direction, protraction, is we can come back to a drill on the floor. So we can simulate the wrong one first. So in the wrong one, the scapula is squeezing together in this direction and the back lever was happening. This is what we don't want. So what we want to have is go the other way. Feel that you're pushing your shoulders into the floor, the scapula are moving away from each other. And then what I'll do is provide a little bit of resistance for Blake here. And I'm lifting the stick up, and he's pushing, trying to push it in the opposite direction towards his body, also keeping his shoulders in contact with the floor. So that's how you can start to cue and understand how the muscles need to be working in this back lever. Same thing when you're on the rings and you're lowering into the back lever, start to think about rolling the shoulders forwards in this protracted position as you enter into the back lever. Hopefully that keeps your body more full in one position and tighter. All right, the second mistake could be because of weak core on the backside or weak posterior muscles. So it might start off okay in the back lever position, but then the back goes soft, legs can't be held up high enough because the back extensors and the core is not strong enough to hold the legs up. An area that's often neglected when training the back lever is the posterior side, lower back, and the core in general. So we've got to train the lower back, glutes, posterior side to make sure we can hold up the legs in the back lever. We can focus on a few exercises to identify and pinpoint it. So this will be basically reverse leg lifts. We're facing the prone position on a platform elevated surface and simply just lifting the legs up, simulating this long lever position that we'll be in on the ring. So really, you'll feel it here, and you should focus on the glutes squeezing as you lift, a little bit of hamstrings, glutes, back extensors. You can do lifts, you can do static holds, so you're in one spot, again, mimicking a back lever. Your legs don't move, can you hold this position? We can also train different positions of it. So in our other videos, we did progressions of straddle and open tuck and half layout. So we can do a straddle holds, straddle lifts. So another way to train the second half of the body. Okay, let's also try the half layout position. So open tuck or open hips, bent legs, which is here. And you're focusing on all of the body positions without actually being on the rings, struggling to hold something. So this is how you can pinpoint if your lower back and posterior side is weaker for the back lever. The third error could be because you're not engaging your lats. So you want to contact the triceps and lats in the back lever, and if there's a gap between the two, it makes it a lot more difficult to hold this back lever because it really acts as a kind of like a shelf and to help hold the body up with more support if you can engage the lats, squeeze it with the triceps. So not engaging the two or pulling them against each other makes this back lever a lot more difficult. So going further into the third mistake you might be making, which is not engaging the lats or not squeezing the triceps and lats together, we can really identify this and focus on the rings first. So let's see if we can backtrack from the lever, get into the inverted hang, And think about that contact before the back lever even starts. So triceps and lats should be squeezing together, and you can slowly lower in. We don't even need to go into the back lever yet, but just focusing on squeezing these two together, lowering slowly more towards the back lever, and making sure you feel that contact, and then maybe even coming back up again. So that's perfect. So this is usually due to a lack of understanding or cueing and not knowing that you should even squeeze these two together, but it basically acts as a cage or a shelf for the body, and you'll feel stronger with that closer tension and getting into the back lever. Now, if you can't feel it on this, we can always go back to the progression or the drill that we were doing on the floor with the stick, where we were focusing on protracting the shoulders, but you tend to do the same thing. If you protract, you'll tend to feel this contact with triceps and lats anyway. So going back to the floor, focusing on those particular muscle groups, and then trying to implement it when you're on the ring to help cover it. And the fourth error you could be making is you might have skipped the development of previous progressions of the back lever and the longer holds you need to have. So maybe go back and see how your straddle back lever is. If you're not able to hold this, you need to spend more time on that regressed version, or maybe you need to go further back and hold a tuck back lever. But if you've skipped the progression of longer holds and easier positions, this will lead into a failing back lever. So that wraps up our video on the 4 errors that you might be making of why you can't hold the back lever and how to identify and fix them. So hopefully these will work for you. If you haven't already seen our back lever progression video, make sure you check that out, because that'll teach you how to make your back lever progressively more difficult from a smaller position to a larger, and that'll again fill in the gaps if you're missing any. And check out themovementathlete.com for that free assessment to see how strong you are and where you are in your fitness level, because that'll help guide you moving forwards in your calisthenics plan. So thanks for checking in. We've got more back lever videos on YouTube. So how strong are you? Calisthenics is the ultimate in bodyweight training because it's fun, challenging, and rewarding, but it's also difficult to know where to start in the whole process. So that's why we created a free calisthenics fitness assessment. And what this will do is it'll help you find out exactly where you are in your pathway of calisthenics mastery. It'll help create personalized workouts for you. It'll help you achieve your goals faster. So we want everyone to have access to this regardless of their budget and location. So as long as you have internet, you'll be able to take control of your fitness program. So click below for the free assessment tool.